Right, good morning, Nigeria again. It is time for the relationship segment. Now, you can see that I'm smiling because I really enjoy speaking with this particular lady about intimacy and relationships. Now, we have, for the very last time this month, we have Vera Chikiezi. Okay, now she is an American board-certified clinical sexuality coach. She's also a doctor, a master's expert, counselor coach, and public health advocate whose contribution has reshaped how we perceive, understand, and engage with most intimate aspects of human experience. Now, today, we're going to be talking about intimacy beyond the bedroom. Intimacy beyond the bedroom. For the last time, good morning.
Good morning, Edgar.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
All right, so intimacy beyond the bedroom. I am sure this is more about the other things to do outside the bedroom.
Yeah.
All right, and do you want to share some of these things that are very important?
Yeah, you know, a lot of times people think that it starts and ends in the bedroom, right? But the truth of the matter is that what happens in the bedroom is mostly affected by what happens outside of the bedroom, right?
Before and after the bedroom.
Yes, things that happen outside the bedroom.
Right.
Sometimes the things you do outside the bedroom will score you some points inside the bedroom. Right.
Okay.
You know, like I like to say that
All
women
right.
are more emotional beings. So everything they do, they think from their emotional part of them. So your wife wakes up in the morning, the way you say hello to her in the morning, the way you greet her, the way you help her, or the way she wakes up to see that the kids are already prepared for school, right? We'll score you some good points when you decide to go into the bedroom, right? And then a lot of men are touching.
Okay.
Right, and so they want to get into all the physical touchy things. So one of the things that increases the capacity of what happens inside the bedroom is non-sexual touch.
Okay.
So I've had a couple of women have issues with their spouses whereby they're tired of, they've been touched out.
Okay.
So every time you touch her, you want to pat the curtains. And she really doesn't want, she just wants to cuddle. She just wants to feel you, she just wants to perceive you, she just wants to feel loved without having to give.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, the reaction from a lady, is it not meant to be based on how she chooses to be loved? Now, what I mean is there are some women that would say, oh, their love language is physical touch. So I'm sure maybe the man is probably
So you
wondering.
see this physical touch thing, right?
Let's talk about physical touch, because whenever I say, oh, my love language is physical touch, they say,
No.
Let's talk about it.
When it comes to love languages,
Okay.
physical touch is actually physical, non-sexual touch. Yes, sir.
That's the meaning of physical touch.
Yes, sir.
That's like shaking hands, hugging.
Yes, hugging, a pat on the back, you know, pat on the head, you know, laying head on the shoulder, walking the park to us, holding hands. That is physical touch.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, you get a lot of single people say, but you say we shouldn't have anything before marriage, and then you now say that my love language is physical touch. What should I do? So that's not what we're referring to.
Okay.
Right. So
All right.
when it comes to intimacy outside of the bedroom, one thing that actually scores you good points in the bedroom is non-sexual touch outside of the bedroom.
Right.
You're walking in the park or you're driving together,
Okay.
right? Your husband is driving, the wife just puts her hand on, he puts his hand on the gear, and she puts her hand over him. There's this locking eyes are like, oh wow, you got me, you get me, you know, that kind of thing. It's not every time, mostly women, it's not every time they touch you
Okay.
that they want to get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, this one I'm about to ask, this question is not my question.
Is that
A friend of mine, because he's
You're asking for a
been watching
friend.
the show. I'm asking for a friend. So he
Okay.
says that sometimes with music, he went to a friend's house and there's some people enjoy when you play certain music for them. That music is more like a channel to inform them that get ready, something might happen. So whenever they hear a particular song, is that something you would advise that people should do? Should you have a song that, you know, tells you, oh, that time is about to, you know?
So that also speaks about intimacy languages.
Okay.
So some people are moved by their five
So what I mean
senses.
is, for example, someone gets back from work, and then, you know, maybe the wife is in the kitchen. Let's say she's probably making noodles, or she's getting, you know, preparing something nice. And then the husband just takes off his suit, and then he plays a particular song, and then there are speakers. So when she hears the song, she already knows that
something's going to happen.
Something's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But do you advise that?
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time. Like I say, it's basically what rocks your boat. So you need to understand your own spouse and do your own spouse. Now, it works for this particular couple. It might not work for... I had a friend too, who every time her husband buys Cold Stone.
Cold Stone. Okay.
She knows that.
Okay. But don't you think so in some way, in some world, that is just baits and tricks to get what you really want?
It is.
Shouldn't men or women be more open about these things instead of using certain things like, music, items and all that?
It is, but the spouse has understood that this is what it means. That's why I said
so
know
the day
your
no
own
ice cream.
spouse.
No, the day ice cream shop refused to open.
So now it doesn't mean that other ways don't happen. But if he comes home with Cold Stone ice cream, she knows that this is going to happen.
So to break out of a routine, instead of just doing something repeatedly, how do you spice up your intimacy outside the bedroom? How do you spice things up so that you don't keep doing the same thing? Because I'm sure when a woman sees you do something on Monday, do it on Tuesday, or she's like, he's going to do the same thing tomorrow.
Anyway, like we talked about, what's the thing called temperament last week?
Yeah.
So someone like a sanguine would always want something new, something different, something of it. So like. For someone that you need to always do something different for, there are a lot of things, right? Date nights. Planning.
I hope people are taking notes. I hope those that are listening at home right now are taking notes. So date nights. So date nights is you just surprisingly tell you.
So, it doesn't have to be a surprise. You could have planned it. You could have also informed, we're hanging out today, right? And mostly for the women, when you tell the woman that we're hanging out today, if there are kids involved, she knows that she needs to get the kids sorted.
Yes.
She needs to get the home sorted, right?
So date nights.
Date night is one. A naked cinema.
Sorry?
Naked cinema.
Okay, naked cinema.
Yeah. No, you're not going to the cinema naked.
What is naked cinema? Please, it's a family show, so try and say it as pure as possible.
Okay.
What is naked cinema?
Okay, so like you and your spouse watching movies without anything on.
Okay. That is a naked. That's at home.
At home. Yes, at home. At home. And then change of environment, change of scenery. Okay. So you're always in your house. You're always in your bedroom. You can start by even moving out of your bedroom to other places in your house. Change of scenery, you could also take a walk on the beach. Change of scenery, you can decide, okay, you know what, we're going to spend the weekend away in a hotel, in an apartment, somewhere away from our usual
environment,
yes, our usual environment. Take it away. And then being emotionally available for your spouse. Emotionally available for your spouse is in the sense that your spouse should be comfortable to be vulnerable with you, tell you what he or she feels per time, once per time, without the aspect of being spooky. Or judged.
All right. I don't know. I know you're a doctor now. I'm just wondering, do you have plans to write your own book?
Oh, yes, the book is in the works.
Yeah, because you have to write something. You need to learn something. You can't be telling us naked cinema and then going to the beach and want to have a book where you can just read your chapters and just learn from these things.
The book's in the works before the end of the year.
All right. Please, give me. I need to. I need to. Not for me, that's my friend.
I love it when people ask questions for a friend because they actually get impacted in the end.
I'm not ready for things like that. It's for my friend. All right. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Please just hold my hand for the last time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that is all that we can take at this time. Do not go away. One more time. Guys, we have a lot for you guys in the show. It's Still Wake Up Nigeria. We'll be right back after this short break.